In the year 2000, Enron was named America's most innovative company for the sixth consecutive year. Its stock was soaring. Its executives were celebrated. Its accountants were signing off on everything. And hidden inside its financial statements, in plain sight, was the biggest accounting fraud in American history. $74 billion in shareholder value. Gone. 20,000 jobs. Gone. The retirement savings of thousands of ordinary employees. Gone. And the warning signs had been there, for anyone willing to look, for years. The full story. His name was Marcus Webb, a licensed real estate agent operating across Arizona, Nevada, and California. Charming. Professional. The kind of agent who remembered your children's names and sent handwritten cards on moving day. He had built a reputation over 12 years as one of the most client-focused agents in the Southwest. What his clients didn't know was that he had also built a parallel operation specifically designed to exploit the one moment when property buyers are most vulnerable. The moment between signing and closing. When money changes hands. And trust is absolute. The Chrome. Webb's fraud exploited a gap in standard real estate procedure. When a buyer signs a purchase agreement and pays a deposit, that money typically sits in an escrow account until closing. Webb had established relationships with two small independent escrow companies whose oversight procedures were minimal. He directed deposits into these accounts he had partial control over, and began withdrawing funds before closing was complete. Simultaneously, he would relist properties he had already sold, sometimes within days of the original sale, targeting new buyers in different cities who wouldn't encounter the original purchasers. By the time any single transaction collapsed, he had already collected deposits from multiple buyers on the same property and moved the money beyond easy reach. Over 4 years, he sold 23 properties multiple times, collected deposits from 61 different buyers, and stole $4.2 million. The fatal mistake. Webb's operation collapsed not because of a financial investigation, but because of a neighborhood Facebook group. Two families who had both purchased the same property in Scottsdale connected online when one posted photos of their new home. The other family recognized the address immediately. Within 48 hours, 3 more families had identified themselves as buyers of the same property. They contacted Arizona's Department of Real Estate together, with documentation, and the pattern was immediately recognizable to investigators who had seen similar schemes before. The investigation. State investigators contacted the FBI within days. A forensic audit of Webb's transaction history revealed the full scope of the operation across 3 states. The escrow companies he had used were immediately suspended pending investigation. Bank records showed a systematic pattern of early withdrawals timed precisely to when buyers were least likely to check their transaction status. Investigators described the operation as one of the most methodical real estate fraud schemes they had encountered. Not because of its financial complexity, because of its psychological precision. Webb had understood exactly when buyers trust most completely, and built his entire fraud around that moment. The verdict. Marcus Webb was convicted on 23 counts of wire fraud and money laundering. He was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. 61 victims recovered an average of 30 cents on the dollar from a restitution fund. Several families lost their entire life savings, deposits representing years of careful saving for a home they never received. The 2 escrow companies that facilitated the fraud were permanently shut down, and Arizona subsequently tightened escrow oversight regulations, closing the specific procedural gap Webb had exploited for 4 years. Marcus Webb didn't forge title deeds or hack government databases. He exploited trust. The specific deep, unconditional trust that people extend in the moment they believe they have finally found their home. Tomorrow on the Fraud Files, the man who faked his own death to escape $40 million in fraud charges. And almost got away with it. Subscribe. Because the money trail never lies.